हाय एवरीवन, दिस इज अनम। वेलकम टू पीएचडी जॉब्स एंड एडमिशन। सो आज के इस वीडियो में हम एमसीबीयू के पीएचडी एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, जो कि आपका इस ईयर इस सेशन के लिए 15 जून 2025 के दिन कंडक्ट करवाया जा रहा है, तो उसके लिए हम मोस्ट एक्सपेक्टेड एमसीक्यूज डिस्कस करेंगे ऑन रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी, जो कि आपके एंट्रेंस टेस्ट का पेपर 1 होता है, जो कि हर एक एप्लीकेंट्स के लिए कॉमन होगा। तो पेपर 1 रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यूज जो जनरली एग्जामिनेशन में पूछे जाते हैं, उन पर हम इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करेंगे। और साथ ही साथ, जैसे कि आप सभी को पता है, पेपर 1 के लिए हम आपको स्टडी मटेरियल प्रोवाइड करते हैं विद पासिंग गारंटी, यानी कि आपको पास करने की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमारी होगी, जिसके लिए स्क्रीन पर दिए गए नंबर पर आप हमें कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो या फिर हमारे ऐप के थ्रू स्टडी मटेरियल को एक्सेस कर सकते हो। हमारे ऐप को एक्सेस करने के लिए लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगी, और साथ ही साथ जैसे कि ऐप पर विजिट कर डेमो लेक्चर्स वगैरह भी आप रिफर कर सकते हो, डेमो लेक्चर्स हमारे देख सकते हो। और आपको डिटेल जो स्टडी मटेरियल हम प्रोवाइड करेंगे पेपर 1 के लिए, ये मैंने नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में डिस्कस करा है। सो लेट्स सी दी स्टडी मटेरियल फॉर पेपर 1। तो जैसे कि यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो वीडियो लेक्चर्स, नोट्स, मॉक टेस्ट एंड रिवीजन पीडीएफ, जिसमें आपके प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस भी हमने कवर कर रखा है। तो ये सारा कंटेंट आपको एक ही जगह पर देखने मिलेगा। काफी सिंपलेस्ट लैंग्वेज में हमारे नोट्स वगैरह डिजाइन कराए हैं हमने। जैसे कि आप इंटरनेट से देखते हो तो काफी वास्ट आपको सिलेबस देखने मिलेगा और काफी डिफिकल्ट इंग्लिश यूज करी जाती है, जिसकी वजह से स्टूडेंट्स को जो है वहां से कोर्स एक्सेस करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, उनको समझ में नहीं आते कॉन्सेप्ट। तो हम आपको आपके सिलेबस के अकॉर्डिंग प्रिसाइज कंटेंट हम आपको प्रोवाइड करते हैं। नोट्स में जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है, जहां से एग्जामिनर आपको हर बार क्वेश्चंस प्रोवाइड करते हैं, वो इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स हम आपको बताते हैं। और जैसे कि मैं आपको बता दूं, हमारे एमसीबीयू यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए जो पीएचडी एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन के काफी सालों से हमारे बैचेस रन कर रहे हैं। आप देखोगे हमारे चैनल पर काफी प्रीवियस ईयर से 2 to 3 इयर्स पुरानी हमारी बैचेस है, हम काफी ईयर्स से रन कर रहे हैं। वो हमारा जो एक्सपीरियंस है स्टूडेंट्स के साथ, वो भी हम आपको बताते हैं। तो ये सब कुछ सारा हमारा कोर्स में आपको 1 by 1 चीजें हम आपको कवर करवाते हैं, और किस तरीके से क्रैक करना है एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन को, हर एक स्टेप में जो प्रोसेस होता है, ये सारी चीजें हमारे इस कोर्स में आपको बताते हैं। अगेन नंबर हमारा शो हो रहा है, और ये हमारा ऐप है, लिंक प्रोवाइडेड है डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में, वहां से सारी चीजें एक्सेस कर सकते हो। एंड ऑल्सो फॉर पेपर टू के लिए भी हम आपको स्टडी मटेरियल प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जो कि आपका सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक होता है, जिसमें आप आपका पीएचडी करते हो। तो काफी सारे यहाँ पर सब्जेक्ट मेंशन है। सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए हम आपको पेपर 2 का नोट्स एज वेल एज एमसीक्यूज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, और उसके थ्रू हम आपका सिलेबस कवर करवाते हैं। तो अगेन हमारा नंबर शो हो रहा है, पेपर 2 के लिए भी आप हमें इस नंबर पर कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो, या फिर हमारे ऐप के थ्रू भी आप स्टडी मटेरियल को एक्सेस कर सकते हो। जैसे कि मैंने कहा, लिंक आपको नीचे कॉमेंट एज वेल एज डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगी। तो इस तरीके से हमारे स्टडी मटेरियल को हमारे ऐप पर जाकर आप डेमो लेक्चर्स, हमारे क्वेश्चंस वगैरह आप रेफर कर सकते हो, और उसके थ्रू स्टडी मटेरियल को आप एक्सेस कर सकते हो। सो दैट्स इट, एंड लेट्स बिगिन विद द एमसीक्यूज। Which of the following is a qualitative variable? Okay, what they are asking? Qualitative variable. So in this question, they have given us some examples of qualitative as well as quantitative variable. Okay, qualitative and quantitative variable. So remember, in research there are two types of variable. First is qualitative and second is quantitative variable. Okay, so in this question what they are asking, qualitative variable example. Okay, so they have given us qualitative as well as quantitative variable examples in this options here. Option A, B, C and D, and we have to select one correct example of qualitative variable, or which indicates the qualitative variable. Okay, so here qualitative variable means the variable which shows us the quality. Okay, so remember, in qualitative variable, data present in the form of text and words. Okay, and in quantitative variable, the data present in the form of numbers only. Remember, which is very important. Okay, in qualitative variable, data present in the form of text and words, and in quantitative variable, data present in the form of numbers only. Okay, so we'll see the options one by one, and we'll find out which option indicates qualitative variable example. Okay, so first of all, we'll see option B, number of people preferring to eat at McDonald's. So here, number of people, the word indicates itself. It's indicating quantitative variable, because here number of people, let's say example, if there are 80% of people preferring to eat at McDonald's, So here, whatever you are getting data here, so your data in the form of numbers. Okay, you are getting your data in the form of numbers. That means it is a quantitative variable, not a qualitative variable. So here option B is incorrect. Then option C, practical marks for biochemistry course. Okay, here practical marks. So marks, again, whatever marks you will obtain. So marks present, always marks indicates in the form of numbers, because suppose my practical marks for biochemistry course is 80 out of 100. So here again I am getting my result or data in the form of numbers. So here option C is also indicating quantitative variable, not a qualitative variable. So here option C is also incorrect. Then option D, the number of children suffering from anemia. Again here the word number came. So here number of children, suppose there are 50 children or 50% children suffering from anemia. So again you are getting a result in the form of number. So it is indicating quantitative variable. So here option D is also incorrect. So here first option, a favorite brand of chips. So here see, favorite brand of chips, you know the several brand name of chips like Lay's, okay, Lay's, Bingo, or you can say Cheetos. So here whatever you have, you are getting your data or whatever you are getting your result, the result are in the form of words. Okay, that's why the favorite brand of chips, it is indicating a qualitative variable, or you can say it is an example of qualitative variables. So that's why here correct option is option A. Next question. If the variance of a sample is 64 and the standard deviation will be, okay, so in this question what they have given is variance of a sample which is 64, and what we have to find, standard deviation. Okay, so first of all what they have given, you should know the meaning of the words. Okay, or you can say meaning of the terms. Sample variance means how samples are varying. Okay, and standard deviation. Standard deviation means suppose you have some data and you spreaded your data in the form of this graph, okay, which is known as normal distribution, and here is the mean of your data. So in this case, standard deviation means what? How far your data is distributed, or how far your data is from sample, or sorry, from mean. Okay, let's see again, how far your data is spreaded from the mean. Okay, this is known as standard deviation. Okay, so here standard deviation formula is standard deviation, which is denoted by sigma equal to under root of variance. So this is the formula of standard deviation. Okay, so variance, we know the variance which is 64, so put the value here 64. So under root of 64 is 8. Okay, very simple and very easy question. You should know the meaning of this particular terms and the formula. Okay, with very simple again, standard deviation which is indicated by sigma, and the formula is standard deviation is equals to under root of variance. They have already given us the value of variance, which is 64, and under root of 64 is 8. That's why the correct option for this question is option D. Next. The main purpose of working on research problem is to. So what they are asking us, why the research problem, or what is the purpose of on working on research problem. Okay, so remember research problem. Suppose I have some research problem. Okay, at a time I can do a research problem, or I can select my problem at a time only one problem. Okay, I cannot work or I cannot do research on several problems. Okay, at a time only I can work on one problem. Okay, so we cannot work on research problem because we have to verifying the problem. No, because I have only single problem, so there is no option to verifying the problem. So here option A is incorrect. Okay, then we'll see option C first, analyze data. So remember in research, when we analyze data, after collecting data, okay, after collecting data we analyze that data. Okay, analyze means what? Whatever, suppose whatever I collect the data, okay, from by performing research or by doing sample. Okay, from sample I got some data, suppose. Okay, and after that I am analyzing what I am getting data. Is it correct data? Okay, or is it a true data what I'm expecting I'm getting that data or not. So this is the analyzing process. So remember, in research, always analyzing process come after the collecting data. Okay, you cannot directly suppose you are working on your research problem, you cannot directly do analyzations. Okay, first of all you have to collect your data, and after that you observe that data and then you analyze that data. Okay, so here option C is also incorrect. Then option B is find out the best solution. Yes, why researchers and we work on a research problem? Because we have to find out some best options and some best solution for this research problem. Okay, remember, always researcher wants to find out the best solution of their research problem. So main purpose of working on a research problem is to find out the best solution. That's why here the correct option is option B. Next, all the elements of population with proper identification that is available for selection at any stage of sampling is called. So what they are asking in this question, they have given us the definition of one of the following options and we have to select which option's definition is this. Okay, so here what they are asking, all the element of the population. Okay, all the element of the population means all the members of the population. Suppose you have some list and this list you have all the elements means all the members of your population. Okay, with proper identification. Okay, their identity is also mentioned in their list. Okay, that is available for selection at your at any stage of samples. So what is the meaning of this sentence? So suppose you have your population. I am making here list and I have my population's elements means what? My population member. All the members of my population and with their proper identification. Okay. And then from this list I am selecting my samples. So what this is called? So this process is called sampling frame, or you can say this is the definition of sampling frame. So what is sampling frame? You have some list or you made some list, okay, in which the population members name, their identification, their address proper you mention here, okay, and you select samples directly from this list. So this is known as sampling frame. Okay, so we'll see the incorrect options as well. So first option here is sample. So what is sample? Sample means what? You have some population and you are selecting the subset of your population or some members of population. So this is known as samples. Okay, so in samples you don't have all, you know, population members and their identification. So here option A is incorrect. Then option B is sampling unit. Sampling unit means what? Single person in your sample. Suppose this person, okay, I am selecting this person from the sample. That means it is known as sample unit. Okay, so sample unit means what? From sample, the single person from the sample is known as sampling unit. So here option B is also incorrect. Then here option D is universe. Universe means what? Universe is also known as population. Okay, universe means your whole population. So again, this is not the correct option for this question. So for this question, here option C is the correct answer, sampling frame. Next, suppose an experiment is conducted to know about the time taken by the different students who have slept for 2, 4, 6 and 8 hours respectively to complete a homework. Which among the following is a dependent variable in this situation? So what they are asking here and what they are given is, so they have performed some experiment, okay, on students for completing their homeworks. Okay, so in this situation, or you can say in this example, what we have to find? We have to find which variable is dependent variable. Okay, so here you can see here what they are telling us, the time taken by the different students who have slept for 2, 4, 6 and 8 hours means they are talking about the sleeping hours of students. Okay, sleeping hours of students, because see here the sleeping hours of students is changing here. Some students slept for 2, some students slept for 4 and 6 and 8 hours. Okay, so here sleeping hours are changing. That means here sleeping hours is independent variable. Okay, and for what they are performing their experiment, to seeing the how the students are completing their homework. Okay, so here homework completion, okay, homework completion here is the dependent variable, because here what they are measuring, the sleeping cycle, or you can say sleeping hours of the students on what they are seeing the effect on homework completion. Okay, so here you can see sleeping hours of every student is changing. That's why here sleeping hours is independent variable and homework completion is dependent variable, because you are seeing the effect of sleeping hours on the homework completion. So that's why here the time taken to complete the homework is dependent variable. So for this question, option B here is the right answer. We'll see incorrect option as well. Option A here is sleeping hours. So here sleeping hours is what? Your independent variable, not your dependent variable, because sleeping hours is changing. Okay, so we have already seen independent variable is always, researcher always do changes only in the independent variable, not on dependent variable. Okay, so here option A is incorrect and option C is students, which is obviously incorrect. So for this question, here option D is the right answer for this question, time taken to complete the homework. Next, increasing the sample size has the following effect on the sampling error. So what they are asking, if I am increasing my sample size, okay, what will be the effect on my sampling error? So we have to find out. So remember, we will take some example to find out the solution for this question. Okay, suppose I have population. In my population, there are total 100 members. Okay, and for sample, I'm selecting my sample means I'm taking some members from the population. Suppose I'm selecting 95% directly from the population. Okay, so in this case, what will be my sampling error? Sampling error is population minus my sample. Okay, sample size, or you can say sample. Okay, so here my population size is 100 and my sample size is 95. So in this case my sampling error will be 5. Okay, so from this what we are getting, remember sampling error is inversely proportional to sample size. Okay, means if I am taking large sample size, then what will happen to my sampling error? My sampling error will automatically start reducing. Okay, if I am taking my sample size low, or you can say small sample size, then what happened to my sampling error here? My sampling error will increase. Okay, so here remember always, if I am selecting my sample size larger, then what will happen to my sampling error? It will automatically start reducing. And if if my sample size is smaller, then in this case what happened to my sampling error? It will it will increase. Okay, so here remember, sampling error and sample size is inversely proportional, and what they are asking in this question, sample size is increasing. So what will happen to my sampling error? It will start reducing automatically. So here option B is the right answer for this question. It reduces the sampling error, because I am selecting and I am taking my sample size larger. Okay, increasing, my sample size is increasing, so my sampling error will reduce. Okay, then we'll see incorrect option as well. Option A, it increases the sampling error. No, because my sampling error is increases, then my my sample size is increasing, then my sampling error will or my sampling error should reduce. Okay, not increase. So here option A is incorrect, and option C is it has no effect on the sampling error, which is obviously incorrect, because there is a relation between sampling error and sample size. So remember, always sampling error is inversely proportional to sample size. Okay, so for this question here option B is the right answer. It reduces the sampling error. Next, which of the following can be used for data collection? So in this question what they are asking and what they have given is, they have given us some data collection tools, and we have to find out from which tool we can find out or we can collect the data. Okay, so one by one we'll see option. So here option A is interview. Yes, through interview researchers collect their data. Suppose I am taking suppose we'll take some example. Okay, I am taking interview. So I'll call some heart specialist, okay, and I'll ask him some questions to the or you can say he or she. Okay, so heart specialist, what I'm doing here, I'm calling heart specialist, and I'm asking some questions related to heart diseases. So what I'm getting here, whatever I'm asking question, so I'm whatever I'm getting my answer, so my answer is my data. So here through interview you can find out or you can collect your data. Then here option B is questionnaire. Questionnaire means what? A list of questions. Okay, so suppose or you can say researchers provide a questionnaire to their respondent, and respondent fill that questions, and through that researchers collect the data from the questionnaire. So yes, again through questionnaires researcher collects data. Then option C is here observation. Yes, through observation researcher can also collect data. Let's say example, if I want to do a research or I want to do a study on animals behavior, so what I'm doing here, I'll go to some zoo, okay, or you can say I'll go to some forest, and I'll observe some animals there, what they are behaving, okay, how they are eating, how they are spending their time with each other. Okay, so what happen is through observation I can also collect data. So remember, through interview, through questionnaire, and through observation, researcher can collect their data, and all these three tools can be used for data collection method. So here correct option for this question is option D, all the above. Next, simple random sampling is very effective is. So what they are asking, simple random sampling, at the definition, or you can say when simple random sampling is effective. Okay, so remember, in simple random sampling researcher direct select the, yes, let's say example, here I have some population. Okay, if I am performing simple random sampling, so what I'll do here is I'll select my sample randomly from this population, and they will become my sample. So very simple, simple random sampling is very effective if. So we'll see some options. So remember, researchers always select simple random sampling if the population is homogeneous. So here option B is correct, because when your population is homogeneous, then only you can select your sample randomly. Okay, this is the fact. So population, when your population is homogeneous, then how you will select your sample? By random sampling method. So here option B is the correct answer for this question. We'll see the incorrect options as well. So here option is population is partitioned into several sections. No, when a population, your population partitioned into several sections, in this case you will use stratified sampling. Okay, in this case you will use stratified sampling, because in stratified sampling the population, whatever you have, population is heterogeneous. Then after that you partition into several section your population. Okay, whatever you have members, you partitioned into a several section, and from this several section you select your sample randomly. So this is effective if your sample is stratified, not simple random. So here option A is incorrect. Then option C is the population is very large. So remember, when your population is very large, in this case you will always select a cluster sampling method, because cluster sampling is the sampling method in which your population size is very large. Okay, so here option C is also incorrect. Option D is population is heterogeneous. Again I said, whenever your population is heterogeneous, you will always go for stratified sampling, because in stratified sampling, whatever you have population, your population is heterogeneous. From this heterogeneous group you partition you partition your member into several sections with the same characters. Okay, and from this partition or from this several sections you select your samples randomly. So how you select your stratified sample? But simple random sampling is very simple. In simple random sampling, whatever you have sampled, the sampling should be homogeneous, and from this sample you directly select your from this population you directly select your sample. Okay, so this method is known as simple random sampling. So again here option D is also incorrect, and option B is the right answer for this question. Next, data collected directly from the field is. So what they are asking here, you collect your data directly from the field. Directly means from main source. Okay, you are selecting or you are collecting your data directly from the field. Field means, for example, you are directly collecting data by performing an interview, or you can say an observation, okay, or through, you can say, question is. So what they are asking here is, you are selecting or you are collecting data. You are collecting data directly from the field. Okay, directly means directly from, by performing interview, by performing an observations or questionnaire. So here, if your data is, you are performing or you are collecting your data directly from the field, then it is known as primary data. Means whatever you are getting your data by performing an interview, observation, questionnaire, your data is pure data. Okay, your data is new data. Okay, so whatever the new data or pure data, it is known as primary data. So for this question, option B here is the right answer. Option A is secondary data. Secondary data means what? Which is already published. Okay, already published data is known as secondary data. Already published data means what? Whatever data present in newspapers, okay, in articles, journals, then it is known as secondary data. Okay, so what they are asking, published data or not? They are asking that directly from the field. So here option A is incorrect. And option C is tertiary data. Tertiary data means what? Mixture of both primary and secondary data. It is known as tertiary. So here option C is obviously incorrect. So for this question, option B here is the right answer, primary data. Next. Which of the following statement or statements is correct? Okay, so in this question, what we have to find from these options four, we have to select one option which is correct. Okay, so we'll see one by one all the options. Okay, so here first option is primary data is more costlier than secondary data. No, it's not possible, because see, by performing an observation, you can also collect your primary data. So in observation, they will know, the observation is not costlier method. It is very cheap method. Okay, so primary data, it may be costlier or it may cheap, not always costlier than secondary data. So here option A is incorrect. Then option B is judgment sampling is a random sampling method. Again, this statement is incorrect, because judgment sampling is a non-random sampling method. Because in judgmental sampling method, you by researchers judgment, they select their samples from the population by judgment. Okay, by their judgment. So here judgmental sampling is not a random sampling method, because it is a non-probable sampling. That's why it is non-random sampling method. So here option B is also incorrect. Then here option C is a complete survey of a population is called census. Yes, what you are doing your complete survey from the whole population. Okay, if you are doing your research on your population, if you are performing your survey, if you are distributing questionnaires to your population, and you are doing research on your whole population, then it is known as census. Okay, remember this very important sentence and correct sentence or correct statement for this question. So for this question, option C here is the right answer. And thank you for watching this video.